Lovely viewers, gather close, because today's story is one that will pull at the deepest corners of your heart. This isn't just celebrity news. This is a moment that has left fans across the world wiping tears, clutching their chests, and replaying every memory of a couple that once felt like destiny itself. We're talking about Song Joong Ki's heartbreaking confession about life after Song Hye Kyo. A confession so raw, so emotional, and so unexpectedly honest that fans say they felt like he was speaking directly to them, whispering truths he has carried for far too long. It all began when Song Joong Ki appeared in a quiet, sit-down interview that was supposed to be about his upcoming project. Nobody, not even the interviewer, expected the conversation to take a turn into the shadows of his past. The moment his eyes softened and his voice slowed, fans watching could tell something deeper was coming. And when he finally spoke, everyone went silent. He said that life after the divorce had been a journey he never prepared for. He admitted that he had built so many dreams around a future that never happened, and learning how to exist without those dreams almost felt like waking up in an empty room every single day. Lovely viewers, the moment he said this, you could practically feel the internet stop breathing. Clips were replayed over and over as fans whispered, "He's still hurting after all this time?" What made this confession so painful to hear wasn't just the sadness in his words. It was the honesty behind them. Song Joong Ki didn't try to present himself as strong or unaffected. He didn't try to pretend he had moved on effortlessly or that the past no longer lived in him. Instead, he admitted that some chapters don't close neatly. Some memories don't fade quietly. And when love ends, especially a love the whole world once celebrated, it leaves behind echoes that never fully disappear. He talked about the pressure of the public eye, how every smile felt judged, every silence felt analyzed, and every rumor became something he had to carry alone. Even when he tried to move forward, there were days when a single photo, a single comment from a fan, or a single memory would bring everything rushing back. He didn't blame anyone. He didn't point fingers. He simply confessed that healing is not a straight line, and sometimes the heart just takes longer than expected to breathe again. Lovely viewers, one moment in the interview left everyone sobbing. When asked if he still thinks about the past, Joong Ki didn't rush his answer. He paused, letting the question sit in the air, and then said softly, "There are things you don't forget, not because you want to hold on but because they were real." He didn't say her name, but he didn't have to. Everyone knew. Some fans said they had to stop the video just to catch their breath. Others commented that it was the first time they had ever seen him speak so vulnerably. And many more admitted that hearing him open up made them remember just how deeply the entire world was invested in the love story he once had. But that wasn't all. As the interview continued, Song Joong Ki revealed that one of the hardest things after the divorce wasn't the public attention. It was learning how to rebuild himself. He said that for a long time he kept asking himself, "What did I do wrong?" It wasn't self-blame in a destructive way. It was the kind of question that comes when someone loves deeply and then loses the very thing they treasured. He admitted that he had to learn how to stop rewriting the past in his mind and start focusing on who he was becoming instead of who he used to be. Lovely viewers, these words hit people in their souls. Because who hasn't felt that? Who hasn't looked back on something they loved? A relationship, a dream, a moment, and wondered how everything changed so quickly. That's why fans cried. Not just for him but with him. Then, in the most emotional part of the interview, he explained that for years after the divorce, he avoided certain places, certain songs, certain memories because they reminded him too much of what once was. He wasn't ashamed to say it. In fact, he said it with a calmness that only comes from finally accepting your own story. And when the interviewer gently asked if he wished anything had been different, Song Joong Ki gave a bittersweet smile and said, "Everything happened the way it was meant to. I'm learning to believe that." Fans immediately took to social media, posting messages like, "He's finally speaking his truth, and it's heartbreaking. I didn't expect to cry today, but his pain is so real. He deserves peace. I hope he finds it someday." Lovely viewers, what makes this confession so powerful is not that he is stuck in the past, but that he has finally reached a point where he can talk about it without breaking apart. shows growth, acceptance, and maturity. It shows that even though the wounds were deep, he is no longer trying to hide them. He is choosing honesty over silence, healing over avoidance. And perhaps the most touching moment was when he talked about love. Not romantic love specifically, but the concept of love itself. He said that even though things didn't work out the way everyone expected, he would never regret the moments that were real. He believes love always leaves something behind. Not just pain, but lessons, memories, and a deeper understanding of who we are. This statement alone sent fans into another emotional spiral. Because how often do we hear something so tender, so unguarded, from someone who has been through the fire of public heartbreak? As the interview wrapped up, the tone shifted. Song Joong-ki began talking about what he's learned since then. How he values peace more than ever, how he cherishes the people who stood by him, and how he has grown into a stronger, more grounded person. He didn't claim to be healed completely. He didn't claim he had forgotten everything. He simply said he's learning how to live in the present without letting the past control him. Lovely viewers, this is why fans say the interview felt like watching someone finally lay down a heavy burden. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't scripted. It was a man sharing the parts of his heart he had kept hidden for far too long. And perhaps the most unforgettable moment was when he looked directly into the camera and said, "I hope the people who supported me know that I'm doing better now. My journey hasn't been easy, but I'm grateful I'm still here, still learning, still growing." That one sentence made fans break down all over again. Because no matter where you stand, whether you once supported the couple, whether you followed their love story closely, or whether you simply admired both actors, hearing him confess his truth in such a human way reminded everyone that behind fame, glamour, and success, there is a real person with real emotions. Lovely viewers, what Song Joong-ki shared that day was not just a confession, it was a release. And for fans around the world, it was a reminder that heartbreak doesn't make someone weak, makes them human. His honesty, his vulnerability, and his quiet strength have touched millions. And whether or not the past ever becomes a chapter he can look back on without pain, one thing is clear. Song Joong-ki has finally found the courage to speak his truth, and fans are standing with him every step of the way. If anything, that heartfelt moment opened a deeper door, one that fans have been quietly walking through ever since the interview aired. And today, we're stepping right back into that space, expanding the feelings, the reactions, and the quiet storm of emotions that followed his heartbreaking confession about life after Song Hye Kyo. Stay close, because what happened next is something every viewer should feel, not just hear. After the interview ended, fans expected the internet to explode immediately, but what happened first was silence. The kind of silence that feels like everyone is trying to catch their breath at the same time. It was as though millions of people were processing the weight of his words, letting each confession sink in slowly, deeply, painfully. And then, the floodgates opened. Lovely viewers, fans didn't just react. They poured out their emotions in a way that felt almost communal. Social media platforms turned into safe spaces where people who had never met comforted one another, saying things like, "He deserves happiness more than the world knows. I hope he feels the love we're sending him tonight. He carried this alone for so long. I wish someone had noticed sooner." The emotional unity was something beautiful, something soothing, something almost healing. Because as fans cried for him, they were also crying for themselves. For their own heartbreaks, their own regrets, their own memories of love they lost but never really forgot. Song Joong-ki's confession didn't just reveal his pain. It reflected a piece of the world back at itself. But behind all this public emotion, something else was happening quietly. Something that touched viewers even more deeply when they discovered it. A small group of fans who attended a recent fan meeting shared stories of how different Song Joong-ki seemed after opening up. They said his presence felt lighter, as if speaking about the past had finally loosened a weight from his heart. They noticed that he smiled more genuinely, that he took extra time to thank fans, and that his eyes, once tired, once distant, seemed to hold a softer warmth. One fan recounted how she thanked him for being honest in the interview. And according to her, Song Joong-ki paused, placed his hand gently over his heart and said, "Thank you for hearing me." Lovely viewers, Do you understand the magnitude of that simple sentence? Not thank you for watching, not thank you for supporting, but thank you for hearing me. It was as if he knew people didn't just listen, they felt every word with him. And that is when fans realized something powerful. This wasn't just a confession for publicity, or a random emotional moment. This was a release of years of silence, years of carrying something alone, years of wanting to say everything but choosing to stay quiet out of respect, or pain, or both. Lovely viewers, as the days passed, more layers of the story began to unfold. Observers noted how Joong Ki's tone shifted whenever he spoke about the future. For years, he avoided discussing long-term plans in interviews. But now, after sharing his truth, he began mentioning things like wanting peace, wanting stability, wanting joy that doesn't feel fragile. These weren't dramatic declarations, but small hints, like the way someone starts to open the curtains after keeping them closed for too long. And fans noticed everything. Some said they felt proud of him, others felt protective, and many expressed hope that one day, he might find a version of love that doesn't leave scars, only warmth. But what truly moved everyone was the discovery that Song Joong Ki had been writing. Yes, lovely viewers, writing. A behind-the-scenes staff member hinted that Joong Ki sometimes spends his breaks jotting down personal reflections in a little black notebook he carries everywhere. They didn't reveal the contents, of course, but they said something that sparked an emotional wave online. He writes to understand himself better. When fans heard this, they began speculating. Is he trying to heal through words? Is he processing pain that he never expressed publicly? Is he documenting lessons for a future he hopes to build? The truth is, nobody knows. But the idea that he is quietly working on his emotional growth made fans admire him even more. The continuation of his emotional journey wasn't just about what he said in that interview. It was about everything that came after. The way he carried himself. The way he interacted with fans. The way he began reclaiming parts of himself he had left untouched for years. Lovely viewers, one particularly touching moment came during an event when a young fan asked him, "Appa, are you happy now?" The crowd went silent. Joong Ki looked surprised, then emotional. He didn't laugh it off or avoid the question. Instead, he said softly, "I'm learning to be. And that's enough for now." Fans didn't just tear up, they sobbed. Because that simple response revealed everything. The pain, the hope, the gradual healing, the gentle acceptance of imperfection. Life after Song Hye Kyo wasn't just a chapter he closed. It was a path he had to walk barefoot, slowly, carefully, with wounds that didn't always show on the outside. And admitting that publicly took courage many people never expected from him. And here's something even more profound. Fans began discussing how rare it is for male celebrities, especially Korean actors, to show this level of vulnerability. In an industry that demands perfection, Joong Ki chose honesty. In a culture that often expects men to appear strong, he chose emotional truth. And in a world that watches every move he makes, he allowed himself to be human. Lovely viewers, imagine how heavy his silence must have been all these years. Imagine how many interviews he sat through without saying what he truly felt. Imagine how many moments he smiled even though his heart was hurting. That's why this confession struck so deeply. Because it wasn't just about a relationship. It was about finally letting the world see the wound beneath the armor. As fans continued showing him support, something unexpected but beautiful happened. People began reflecting on the love story itself. Not in a dramatic, sensational way, but with a kind of bittersweet nostalgia. Comments like, "It was beautiful while it lasted. They gave us moments we'll never forget. Some love stories aren't meant to stay, they're meant to teach." These reflections weren't about blaming anyone. They were about acceptance. The same acceptance Joong Ki is learning to embrace for himself. And now, lovely viewers, here we are, watching a man rebuild, heal, rediscover, and slowly reclaim his own happiness. Not the version the public expected. Not the version shaped by a past relationship, but a new, quieter, more authentic version of himself. Fans are standing with him through every step. They're not pushing him to move on faster or pretending the pain is gone. They're walking beside him, offering compassion, strength, and understanding. They're telling him through their messages, their letters, their cheers at events. We see you. We hear you. You're not alone. What makes his journey so compelling isn't just the heartbreak he endured after parting ways with Song Hye Kyo. It's how he is slowly, carefully, and courageously piecing together the fragments of his life and allowing fans to witness it in real time. And what follows is not just his story, but a mirror reflecting the emotions, hopes, and resilience of the fans who love him so dearly. After his heartfelt interview and the wave of public support, Joong's team revealed that he has been spending more time engaging in projects that resonate personally rather than only professionally. Lovely viewers, this shift isn't just career-oriented, it's therapeutic. He's taking on roles that challenge him emotionally, roles that allow him to explore depth and vulnerability on screen, mirroring the honesty he displayed off-screen. Fans noticed this immediately, commenting on his performances with observations like, "You can see the pain, the longing, the hope. It's all real." He's acting from a place of truth now, and it's breathtaking. Watching him, you feel he's finally found his own voice. And that's the essence of this next chapter. Song Joong isn't hiding anymore. He's living with authenticity, letting both his joy and sorrow exist in the same space. Lovely viewers, for a man who once carried so much silently, this is revolutionary. It's as if every tear, every unspoken word, has been carefully woven into the way he now carries himself. Steady, reflective, yet approachable. Fans also discovered that Joong has been dedicating time to charitable work quietly, away from the media spotlight. He has been supporting causes related to mental health and emotional well-being, areas that clearly resonate with his own experience. Lovely viewers, this alone demonstrates his growth. A man who has felt heartbreak so profoundly now seeks to lift others, to remind them that they are not alone, that healing is possible. The fan community was quick to notice, applauding his efforts with messages like, "His kindness is as deep as his talent. He's turning his pain into light for others. Every small act he does now feels like it comes from the heart." And as this wave of emotional transparency spreads, fans are connecting in ways never seen before. Communities formed online to discuss not just Joong's journey, but also their own, sharing heartbreaks, lessons, and moments of hope. Lovely viewers, it's almost as if his confession created a ripple that is now touching millions, encouraging vulnerability and empathy. Even more moving are the personal letters and messages fans have sent him, many of which were shared publicly through social media. The common theme: gratitude. Gratitude not just for his work as an actor, but for showing that even someone who seems larger than life struggles, learns and grows. Fans are saying things like, "Thank you for reminding us it's okay to feel. Your courage inspires me to face my own pain. Watching you speak your truth gave me strength I didn't know I had." Lovely viewers, this is why Song Joong's journey after Song Hye Kyo is more than a celebrity story. It's a shared human experience. His vulnerability bridges the gap between star and fan, reminding us that heartbreak, growth, and healing are universal. And here's another remarkable layer. While the past is never far from his mind, Joong is gradually redefining what happiness means to him. In recent appearances, fans noticed his laughter is more genuine, his interactions warmer, and his aura calmer. He's learning to find joy in small things: a quiet morning on set, a heartfelt conversation with a colleague, a fan's letter that makes him smile. Lovely viewers, this isn't a superficial happiness. It's a deep, earned peace, the kind that comes after long nights of reflection and tears. Interestingly, some fans have also observed a subtle shift in the way he speaks about relationships. He no longer speaks in absolutes or regrets. Instead, there's nuance, acceptance, and hope. This, many fans believe, reflects true emotional maturity. A man who loved deeply, lost publicly, and now loves himself enough to embrace the present without being haunted by the past.